So actually, you were looking for money, right? You were looking for how to invest your money, right?
Exactly, yes. Investopedia, I was reading about investments, and stocks and bonds and treasuries, all these things. Then here comes something to do with Bitcoin, and I'm like, why this is something else I could try to invest in and see.
Yeah. Umar, thanks again. It's the first time that we are receiving someone from the Celo organization, the Celo Blockchain ecosystem. Hopefully today we'll learn more about the Celo and everything around Celo and also around you, because you are the main focus here. So first, I will let you introduce yourself, because well, generally I talk a bit about the people that I invite, but today I will let you talk about yourself first, yeah, and maybe later I will add something if I think is important. So Umar Sebyala, who are you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Amon. Yes, like you said, my name is Umar Sebyala, and I currently work as the ecosystem lead for Uganda at Celo Labs, working on a blockchain platform called Celo. Prior to joining this role as ecosystem lead for Uganda, I was working at Uganda Telecom in the client relationship management section, where I'd spent the most part of my grooming years, if I could say, within the business industry. So my background is in telecommunications, and that's where I kind of picked up the interest in blockchain, as the telecom industry does really get you thinking about networks and how all these various nodes and connections can happen across the continent. So my time at Uganda Telecom really exposed me to a host of technologies, from wired services, these lines, WiMAX, ADSL, internet services, broadband, satellite uplinks, all that. So all this kind of set the foundation for me to get curious about blockchain technology. And once I got to know about this, it was really like adding one more layer of knowledge into what I already had. So in a nutshell, that's who I am, if I could say that. And I'm currently working as the ecosystem lead in Uganda, trying to grow the community and use cases on Celo.
Okay. At least we have something in common, because I started my first intern was in telecom. It was in WiMAX, something like that. So yeah, we have something in common. But how was your journey? What was the first time that you heard about crypto? Tell us about the like, what is the story?
So for me, the awareness came when I was reading an article with Investopedia. Investopedia as actually getting a lot of content from them in as far as understanding where to invest, how the money markets work, and how all these terms come into play, the economics of finance. I was trying to understand how investment works. So Investopedia runs an article that is talking about Bitcoin.
Okay.
So I'm like, if this Bitcoin thing is good enough to be in mainstream investing, maybe I could read more there. So in there were notions of, if you had invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, you would have X millions of dollars right now. I'm like, this is a crazy investment. What kind of wizardry is this? So from there, I kind of picked up the interest and understood that there is this overlaying network that is native to the internet, and it is kind of a new money, and also kind of the future of money, if I could say. So it was kind of new, and that is where the interest came from. My turn-on point was from Investopedia. This was around August of 2018.
2018.
Yeah, so then from there, it's I've been going down the rabbit hole since.
So actually, you were looking for money, right? You were looking for how to invest your money, right?
Exactly, yes. Investopedia, I was reading about investments, and stocks and bonds and treasuries, all these things. Then here comes something to do with Bitcoin, and I'm like, why is this is something else I could try to invest in and see.
Yeah. So this is another thing we have in common, because I discovered Bitcoin because I was trying to find a way to invest. So, and some people called me to say, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. I said, no, I don't want to buy. I want to know how it works and the technology. So, but for you, it was first Bitcoin, and then what are the other cryptocurrencies that you discovered? Or it's like Bitcoin directly to Celo? What was your journey?
Yeah, so from there, this is around, I said August 2018. I tried to experiment with Bitcoin, and this was kind of my um, moment of truth. I needed to find out if this stuff really works. So I had to see if I could be able to move Bitcoin from point A to point B, whereby point A and point B are not related in any way. So I read about where I could buy some Bitcoin, and I found localbitcoins.com, that peer-to-peer exchange. And from there, I found various local traders who were willing to sell Bitcoin for mobile money in Ugandan shillings. So I was like, yes, maybe I could just buy 10,000 shillings worth of this. 10,000 shillings, that's like $3 worth. So I sign up, I get an account, I'm able to interact with one of the traders there. I'm like, even if this guy scams me just 10,000 shillings, just $3, I could recover. So I see local Bitcoins taking us through the process. I see my money going into escrow, and I understand that there are protections around this. Then once I saw the transaction being completed, then I see I got 0.00001 Bitcoin that is sitting in this wallet. I'm like, yeah, so these are just digits on a screen. Now, to know that this can actually be a real value, I have to move it from this website to a different website. So I opened up a wallet somewhere else, whereby I knew that these websites have no interlinkages, meaning it would actually have to move over the internet without having any connections there. So I send the funds from my local Bitcoins wallet to this wallet that I made online. And in about 10 minutes, the funds reflect on this other side. And that was my aha moment. I was like, wow, there is value here. Now, from there, I wanted to understand what is really under the hood. How does Bitcoin work? How did the funds move from point A to point B? So I just dived deeper into Bitcoin. So along the way, understanding about mempools, hashes, nonces, miners, and difficulty levels, all that. Then I get to know about Ethereum. I get to know about Cardano, get to know about XRP and the other players, Litecoin. So I understand that it's an ecosystem of these various technologies that can actually have real value. And I've been in the space ever since. So that's kind of my journey. It came straight through Bitcoin, and Bitcoin led me to this whole ecosystem of various blockchains.
Interesting. I think your process here is very important. Like you took time to test the system, to experiment, to put a little bit of money and try to move it around to see if it's really true before you actually really got involved in the thing. And you were lucky to be like, you are engineer, like telecom, you are the telecom, so you were interested in the technology side, luckily. But unfortunately, in Africa, most people, they just believe very fast, so they get scammed very fast. But your process, I think, is good, that people know that you have to take time to study the system little by little. It's very, very important. But now you are with the Celo ecosystem. You are the lead over there in Uganda. Tell us, what is Celo? What is I also heard about Celo dollar. What is how is it working over there, like in Uganda?
Right. Thank you for the question, Amon. Well, from a high note, Celo is an open platform that makes financial tools accessible to anybody with a mobile phone. That's the very essence of what Celo is. This open mobile first blockchain platform that provides financial tools and services to anybody with a mobile phone. So Celo is mobile first, and that is kind of the key, it's really the key underpinning of what the technology is here. So looking at it from the blockchain perspective, Celo is a proof of stake blockchain that is running a validator set of 110 validators who validate these blocks at the end of each epoch. Each epoch runs for around 1 day, exactly 24 hours. So this validator set is swapped out, and you get new validators in every day. So Celo is different from Bitcoin, which is the proof of work, whereby you have miners. So with Celo, you have validators, and this is the core of the network when you look at the blockchain times there. It has some key differentiators in as far as being unique. And if we're taking it from the top, Celo has since it is a mobile first platform, it has ultralight clients that provide for very fast sync times with the blockchain. So these ultralight clients do reside in some of our apps, like the wallet called Valora. So the Valora wallet comes with an ultralight sync that can enable your smartphone be able to sync with the blockchain in record time with very minimal data. So that is one of the key technological advancements of Celo. Then secondly, it has native support for a host of stable value currencies, notably the Celo dollar, which is pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, and the Celo euro, which is pegged 1-to-1 to the euro. And this is in the native protocol. So there's support for a host of stable value currencies. So today it's those two. We could expand that out to any other currencies that the community votes on. Then it has the ability to also pay gas fees for transactions in those stable coins. So what you can be able to pay for a transaction that say I'm sending $1 to you, Amon. I don't have to have the native currency. The native currency being Celo. I can pay it in these stable coins. I can pay the gas fees in Celo dollar. So think of what you would have on Ethereum. If I wanted to send you an ERC20 token, I would have to pay for the gas fees in Ether, which is not the case for Celo. You can pay that in the ERC20 token itself. Then there's also a public key infrastructure, a public key phone infrastructure that essentially enables the mapping of addresses to phone numbers. So this is a first in the blockchain space, in that with the Celo platform, you can be able to map your address on the Celo network to a phone number. So this enables you to send crypto natively as you would send mobile money, as opposed to sending it to the complicated alphanumeric strings that we know for cryptocurrencies. You can send it to, like I'm sending you a text. So I send it to your phone number and receive these funds like you would receive an SMS or receive mobile money. Then also I mentioned Celo is a proof of stake, meaning we have validators and community members can be able to stake Celo, and they can also earn these rewards for staking Celo. Then the Celo platform is also Ethereum virtual machine compatible. This is because Celo has shared ancestry with Ethereum. Essentially, it's a fork of Ethereum. So we have the shared ancestry. It's kind of the same code base that gets some alterations here and there. So if somebody is good at building on the Ethereum blockchain, they would have a very easy time building on Celo, as the tools are pretty much the same. Then we also have the aspect of on-chain governance, in that holders of Celo, the native asset, can be able to vote on decisions and on proposals and decisions that can affect the development of the Celo platform. Say want to increase the validator set, say want to increase the gas limits in the block. This is not done by some central entity somewhere, but it's done by the community voting against a proposal. So whoever wants to propose something has to vote, has to move the proposal, and the proposal is voted against by the holders of Celo. And if this proposal passes, then it is implemented. So it has on-chain governance, and this is one of the key aspects of Celo. Then lastly, Celo is a carbon negative blockchain. And this is huge because people currently have concerns about the environment and how they say Bitcoin is really using up a lot of resources and it's very energy intensive. Celo is a net carbon negative blockchain, meaning all the activities that we have running Celo are offset by carbon credits, and work with various other climate focused entities. So in the protocol of Celo, it's hard coded that there will be a fund, a carbon offset fund, which will receive 0.1% of the total rewards on a daily basis. So each epoch, which is 24 hours, all the rewards that are paid out to the validators, there will be a cut of 0.1% that goes to this fund, and the fund is used to fund climate conscious activities such as building, planting of trees, and caring for the environment in general. So we have members, projects like Project Rain, that is really critical in as far as getting us there. So Celo is very climate conscious and very environmentally friendly. And I encourage everyone to check out what we're doing so that we can be able to have a more prosperous environment.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I can see the difference with a lot of blockchain, mainly those ones who are in Africa trying to compete. You know, a lot of blockchains are very interested in Africa. You mentioned the community. There are, I guess, there are developers, validators, and ambassadors, and so on. How to be part of this community? What advice can you give to someone who wants to join the community?
That's a very good question, Amon. And it's open. Celo is an open source platform. We encourage anybody who believes in our mission, because the mission is to build a financial system that creates the conditions for prosperity for everyone. It's open, it's for everyone. If you have your gift and you want to share it with the community, we really do encourage you to reach out, because we have a very active Discord server. It's at chat.celo.org. And it will redirect you to a Discord server that can be able to, you'll find various channels in there that show you how you can get involved at various levels. So taking it further, we do have a robust ambassador program, which has seen ambassadors coming in from each of the continents of the world. And we are very excited to see it grow. And we encourage anybody to reach out who wants to be an ambassador to help us share the message of Celo within their community. Please do reach out. If you go to, you could reach out on the Discord server, whereby there's an ambassador channel, or you could simply reach out to the general Celo platform, which is at celo.org. And in there, you can find various ways on how you can get involved with this initiative, from ambassador programs and seeing all the newsletters, mailing lists, and other groups that you could actually be able to get involved in. So for the developers out there, I already mentioned that Ethereum, whether Celo is Ethereum virtual machine compatible, you find that most of the tooling that we use on the Celo platform are compatible with Ethereum. So if somebody can already build in Solidity, it will be an easy time for them to move over to Celo and build on this. To further make it easier for developers to come in, we were able to have the Donut hard fork. We codenamed it Donut, and Donut is kind of keeping in with the tradition of having food. So you find that there's a lot of food on the Celo network. Our testnet is called Alfajores. Alfajores is a cookie from Latin America in Argentina, and it was inspired by one of the early backers of the Celo platform. Then we have a second test network called Baklava, and Baklava is also a pastry out of the Mediterranean. It's also food. So now the Donut hard fork is just taking it to the next step. Now the Donut hard fork was able to introduce some more functionality to the Celo ecosystem, to the Celo platform itself, as it brought Ethereum compatible transactions. So you find that you can use wallets like MetaMask now. You can be able to plug that into any application that you want, and you would also have the Celo platform on there. So you have some of the Ethereum tools coming over to Celo, and this is good for growing the community. There's also a very well documented library of documents for developers to get started at docs.celo.org. And within here, you find tools such as the software development kit, which can help developers deploy tools on the platform, such as in this kit, there is a DApp kit that can help you build React Native applications, and you can deploy them onto the Celo network, straight from the test network to the main network. And it has a very robust system that can help any developer get there. Then additionally, we do have an initiative called Celo Camp, and this is something that is quite huge, because the applications are ending on August 24th. And Celo Camp has really helped developers and tech entrepreneurs really get a firm hold on how to build and scale the solutions on Celo. Celo Camp is an 8-week virtual accelerator and mentorship workshop that enables tech entrepreneurs on blockchain and also developers to grow their skill set and scale their products to production level. And we have seen various successes from the batches that have gone past. And right now we're in batch number 4, which closes applications on August 24th. So that would be Tuesday next week. And if you are a developer out there, or even a tech entrepreneur in blockchain, please do consider signing up. Just go to celocamp.com and you'll be guided on this. The benefits are enormous, as we have, there is a gift basket there, or a reward basket of over 30,000 Celo dollars in prizes. And also you have the opportunity to get mentorship from various organizations such as Andreessen Horowitz and Electric Capital that have really been around in the space, and they know what they're talking about when they tell you about how you can scale your product, how you can be a better developer, and how you can better pitch what you're trying to do. Then also you'll be fast-tracked to getting grants and investment. And collectively in the past, we've seen around $15 million worth of venture capital and grants that have gone out to various alumni of the Celo Camp. So it's a huge opportunity for any developers out there trying to get into the ecosystem. And I encourage anyone to look at getting this opportunity. Applications close on the 24th of August, and please do consider.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. I hope people, mainly in the French-speaking part, they will be interested to join the camp. I interviewed Moses Adeniji, who was also who came out of one of those batches, right? With Patient, right? With Patient, it's a very interesting platform. And you mentioned Valora App. Valora, I saw that in Uganda. Valora App is one of the top finance app. Tell us how did you guys do that? What was your secrets to reach that kind of milestone, and how is the crypto space in Uganda over there?
Right, thank you for that, Amon. Valora, yes, this was a while ago when it was actually the #1 free financial app that you're able to get within Uganda. This was down to 2 key elements. We're running a series of campaigns to raise awareness around Valora. And also we had an in-country scheme with the Impact Market. Impact Market is an entity that is working on an unconditional basic income that is aimed at alleviating extreme poverty. This is by giving individuals around $1 a day so that they can have this basic income to better their livelihoods. Okay. So individuals within the communities were really taking on this initiative wholeheartedly, as they were able to receive these funds, they were able to see that the money was coming in on a daily basis and it was free. So they used this word of mouth grassroots referral system to kind of reach out to their various friends and also get them on board. So with these 2 initiatives combined, we saw a huge uptake in downloads for the Valora app, so that people could be a part of this universal, this unconditional basic income scheme. And to date, it's still growing, though it's a bit scaled down, but we have more communities right now. And you see that this is where the interest came from. It was organic growth that individuals were referring by word of mouth to get their families and communities involved so they could be able to better themselves. So we've seen positive impacts coming out of this, and it's a real world use case of Celo dollars and Celo, the platform, to create a system that can create prosperity for individuals. So in a nutshell, looking at the Ugandan ecosystem, like you said, crypto is not really mainstream here, but there is a growing curiosity within the community. Various people getting involved here and there. We have a few exchanges such as binusu.com, which is actually the first exchange we had here. It's currently scaled up, and it's run by one of our alliance members, Crypto Savannah. Crypto Savannah is really a huge player in the blockchain space for Africa, and we are very fortunate to have them within the alliance. So you find that there are various stakeholders on the ground that are helping us grow the ecosystem. You have folks at Yellow Card also helping raise awareness, and it's like I said, it's not really yet mainstream, but we're seeing organic growth through curiosity, referrals, and people getting and seeking for better alternatives to invest their Ugandan shillings. So we are very optimistic about the future of crypto and blockchain within Uganda, and we do see the trend is already positive.
Okay. One type of people we cannot ignore in our countries is like the regulators. How do you approach regulators over in Uganda? Like, I guess there is the Central Bank of Uganda and so on. How do you deal with them?
That's a valid question, and it cuts across any ecosystem when it comes to crypto. Regulators really have to have a stake in what you're saying. So up until this point, the Celo ecosystem has been growing organically, and we are open to talking to any regulator who is open to hearing what we have to say. And for the case of Uganda, the landscape around regulation has just recently changed, as we have a National Payment Systems Act now that seeks to regulate all electronic payment systems within the country. So it's really new. We haven't had anything like this prior to today, and we're still working out the right approach we can use to go to the central bank, because the central bank is the monetary authority and it is the regulator enforcing this particular act. The act has seen a change in the fintech landscape, as for the case of mobile money, we have seen the telecom operators are having to create new entities to specifically deal with mobile money, like MTN Uganda and Airtel Uganda. Now there are two other subsidiaries that are specifically created for mobile money. So they have separated the telecom business from the mobile money. And now we're also working on a strategy to engage the Bank of Uganda to kind of introduce our technology and open up a line of communication with them to see what needs to be in place for us to go further mainstream. So it's still early days, but we are working on having a robust engagement with regulators, and we're really open to regulation as a whole.
Okay. We're very, very happy to know that, well, things are going on well. And well, I hope that it will not be a fight. We'll we'll go to the last question of this interview. But first, before that, you heard about CBDC, right? The central bank digital currency. Do you think that is like CBDCs and stable coins like Celo Dollar, for example, can be they can be competitors or they can collaborate? What is your view on this CBDC versus stablecoin?
Yeah, right. That's a very interesting question, because when you look at the CBDC, you're looking at a legal tender unit issued by a monetary authority like a central bank. And when you look at a stablecoin, in most cases, you're looking at a private open source unit of value that is issued by a protocol in the open source world. So essentially, they are different. They're not pitched to kind of compete against one another. They may actually be complementary, because the technologies that would be leveraged to deploy each will be different. So you'd have a system that can accommodate the CBDC and perhaps they have their own rails. Then you have the stable coins like the Celo Dollar that could be circulating within a different frame and infrastructure. So once these two come into play, it's really a matter of making the payment system more robust, as consumers do have choices in this. And we do not think that they would be at loggerheads or they'll be competing with one another, but rather they'll be complementing, as they'll essentially be offering different ecosystems in general. And the market can always choose what they would prefer, because the offerings will be open to all to decide.
Okay. Interesting point of view. Well, I hope other countries also will, I mean, people in other countries have the same point of view, but well, we'll see how things will go, right?
Yeah,
so,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, like you said, because it's still very early days. It's very early days.
Yes.
It's all new technology. There we see
Yes.
some hesitancy from here and there, and there is no one size fits all. So it's country by country, and we hope that we can have genuine discussions on a round table and be able to come to agreements that do work for the people, because that is the end goal.
Yeah. No problem. Okay, so you talked about Celo and a bit of CBDC blockchain, the Celo blockchain. How do you think that we can accelerate the adoption of blockchain in Africa? Because you are doing something over there in Uganda. What about other countries? What is the advice you can give to other people in other parts of Africa with maybe other blockchains, other cryptos? How can we accelerate this adoption?
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Amon. When it comes down to acceleration of adoption, we need to first understand that what we're working with is relatively a new technology. So with anything new, there is an education gap in there. Sensitization campaigns and awareness would be the first step in getting more adoption of blockchain technology. So looking at Africa as a continent, whether it's West Africa, South Africa, East Africa, North Africa, Central Africa, education about blockchains and the various applications of these technologies would go a very long way in seeing people adopt them. I believe that if we have localized education content, something that could be used in Francophone Africa, something to be used in Anglophone Africa, Lusophone Africa, things that people can natively relate to, it will help us tap into the awareness and the consciousness of the people on the continent. As if people understand this technology for what it is and they are able to understand how they can use it to better their lives, I believe they would organically see growth across the continent. So education is key to seeing adoption of blockchain technologies within Africa. Then also maybe as a supporting factor, seeing more friendly and helpful regulation around blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies would also be helpful, as if we have more regulators that are working proactively to bring the benefits of this technology to their people, they would automatically help get belief systems going and confidence within the population. If a central bank or a monetary authority puts its stamp of approval on a new technology like cryptocurrencies within its regulatory framework, this would help grow morale, confidence, and also people will actually want to try out more on this technology. So regulation that would be helpful. Then also, if we're able to get policy that helps lower the barriers of entry into the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. So we're looking at things like internet access and the cost of the internet. Across Africa, internet is still not as good as we want it to be, but if we would have policies at state level that do enable the barriers to entry to be lowered into the blockchain space, into the cryptocurrency space, or into the internet space, we'll be able to see more applications coming to the fore. We'll be able to see more people getting onto the internet, and this will also grow the user base of cryptocurrencies and distributed ledger technologies like blockchain, because the internet will be cheaper to use, more available, more reliable. People would be using it more often and would see this build up in growth. This would be good. So it would be those three aspects if it comes to education, regulation, and also policies that lower the barriers to entry, such as internet.
Well said, Umar. Thank you for all your insights about blockchain, Celo, and those three aspects are very important: education, regulation, and I would say connectivity. I would say it like this. education. At least we are trying in our side to do something to talk about the blockchain and crypto and everything. I want to thank you again, and I hope that I will have another opportunity to invite you to talk about something. If there is something that's going on in Uganda, don't hesitate. Just let me know. Maybe I can try to cover it or share it with other people, people that I know, so that they can know that in Uganda there are things going on. We have to get inspiration from Uganda and from Umar over there. Yeah, so thanks for accepting again the invitation. I will let you say your last word to conclude this interview. Umar.
Thank you so much for having me, Amon. It's been a pleasure talking about Celo and my journey in as far. My parting shots would be, we encourage everybody to join the Celo community, the ecosystem, because we are growing and we need people who can be able to add value to this growth. So if you believe in our mission, which is building a financial system that creates the condition for prosperity for everyone, please do reach us out. Reach out to us and be able to share your unique gifts with us. We'll be happy to have you. Like I said, we have a very good Discord channel, which is at chat.celo.org. It has very many channels in there on the Discord server, and you'll be able to feel right at home, get all your questions answered in real time, and get all the resources that you need. If you wanted to look at the Celo ecosystem more, you can go to celo.org. And this is the website for Celo. You'll be able to see all the resources, social media handles, and newsletter subscriptions that you need to get involved. Other than that, blockchain is here and it's here for good. We hope that we can be able to use it to better our lives as Africans and as citizens of the world in general. Thank you again for having me, Amon.
Thank you. I will be happy to take all those links and share it to the description so that anybody interested can just go learn, just read, and if you have questions, just join the different forum communities on Discord. And also, even I will also share the WhatsApp group and everything, so that if you are interested, you just join and just start asking questions, no problem. So thanks again, Umar, for accepting the invitation. And well, Africa is, as people say, I know someone in Senegal, she says that Africa is the promised land of blockchain. I hope that you agree with that. And thanks for thanks for your work over there in Uganda. And I really hope that what you're doing will like inspire other people in other countries. Thanks again. So so thanks for to people who are viewing this this channel. You know, it's a very young channel, right? So, and also the topic is very complicated for some people, right? But we'll try to make it simple. If you have questions, just ask. At least I know people like Umar, I can just ask them or just invite them again to come and explain something. So don't be shy, ask in French, in English, in Portuguese, just ask questions and we'll see how to help you guys out. So thanks again. So thanks, Umar. We'll keep in touch. You can contact me anytime I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.